Hey sweet friends, all right, let's get us some supper going here. So what I have in my pan here are just some little inexpensive sirloin steaks. These are very lean, a tougher style steak, of course. So what we're going to do is just sear these up really good, and then we're going to make us up a little gravy, and we're just going to slow cook these in the oven and cook them until they're about fork tender, okay? You see here what they look like, and what I did, I just seasoned them up both sides. I used some of my Nature's seasoning, a little bit of my smoked paprika, and a little bit of my Kinder's The Blend, and some black pepper, okay? I'm going to sear them up on each side, and then we're going to get our gravy put together, get them popped in the oven. Super easy, super quick. And then with these, I'm going to do a cheesy broccoli casserole and some mashed potatoes. The last time I made my broccoli casserole, I had so many people ask for the recipe. So I will show y'all that. I will do a separate video and show y'all that. But then at the end, we're going to put it all together. So anyway, let me let these sear up, y'all, and I'll be back. Hey y'all, okay, Braden came in for a second, so I've been talking with him. But anyway, I got my steaks just seared up just a little bit, just enough to kind of let that seasoning get good and coated on there. Now I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons of butter, which I needed this to cool down anyway, so it worked out. Anyway, he said Colin was working tonight, and he wanted to know if I had anything stashed in the fridge, and I said, well, any other time, but I've been gone the last few days. But anyway, she's working tomorrow night too, so I told him I'd make him something tomorrow night. So that's what we're gonna do for tomorrow night, y'all. We're gonna make Braden some supper. Anyway, so I'm just going to let that butter cook around a little bit. I've got some onions over here that I've not sliced yet. Y'all give me just a second. All right, y'all, I have just some onion here. This was a small onion, so I did 1 1/2. Of course, you can do however many you want. And then I have some cloves of garlic here, just some little small cloves. I'm just going to roughly slice these up. You could really even just throw them in there whole if you wanted to. If you don't have fresh, you could definitely use some minced garlic, your jar garlic, garlic powder, whatever you want. This is a very flexible little dish, and it's just kind of something that I make just using what I have. Okay, I'm gonna let those onions cook around for a second with that garlic. I'm gonna get some water so we can get all this good, you see all this good stuff on the bottom. All you need is a little splash of water or broth or anything, and it will pull that right up. So let me get us something real quick. All right, just a little bit of water. There we go. We'll cool this down a little bit. You see there how quick that happens. It just pulls it right up. Now I'm going to use, like I said, you can use just about anything you want for this. Just some beef broth. You can use the little packets, the onion packets. I'm going to do some French onion soup. This is a French onion soup with beef broth. I'm going to do this, and then I think I'll just add a little bit of water to it, and I'm going to use some of the au jus gravy mix, okay? So I'm going to put this whole can of this in here. All right, give me just a second. I'm going to get some more water. All right, I just filled this whole can up with water, and then I'm going to take just some au jus. I don't think I'm going to use this whole pack because this is a small amount of little steaks. They're not that thick. And so I'm going to do maybe about half of this pack. Let's just see. Because I think it's going to be very good and flavorful. And that's why I just did the water instead of adding more broth. Because I think all of this combined is going to give it plenty of flavor. Okay? So let's see. Let's get this good mixed up. Look at this, y'all. I think these will be delicious. And like I said, we're going to serve these over some mashed potatoes. You could do rice. You could do some buttered noodles. Really anything that you want. All right. Let's get our steaks here, and I'll get y'all up here a little bit closer so you can see. So here they are. We're just going to poke those down in there. I have my oven. I can't remember if I've told y'all. I've done got distracted. But anyway, I have it on 300. And we're just going to slow cook these for a couple hours just where they're fork tender. Yeah, that's perfect. They're completely down in there. Let's see. Not really much to come off of that. Like I said, these steaks are very lean. They don't really have any fat on them. But as you can see, they're just poked down in there really good. We got the onions, the garlic, the French onion soup, a little bit of water, the au jus. I'm going to do a little bit more butter, and that's it. We're going to pop these in there, and they will just do their own thing. You can certainly do this in the crock pot also, if you want. I just love, y'all know I love to do my Dutch oven and just pop it in the oven. But crock pot works just as well. And I'm going to add in some pepper, a little bit more. And that's it, y'all. I'm fixing to pop a lid on this, get those put in there, and I'll be back in a couple hours, and I will see y'all then. I hadn't got ready yet. That's why I'm just keeping the camera down here on my food. And we'll get this paired up with some mashed potatoes and a good broccoli cheese casserole. Hey, y'all. Okay, our little steaks have been in the oven on 300 for 2 hours. And they are fork tender at this point. Oh, they look and smell so good. So what we're going to do, we want to thicken up this liquid just a little bit. So what I'm going to do the little cornstarch slurry. So, but remember now, if you want to toss in some flour and make like a roux whenever you put your onions and stuff in there, you can certainly do that. Y'all know I typically just like to wait and do this. I have me about 1 tablespoon of cornstarch in here, and then I just put in a little bit of cold water, and I just mix it up really good, and then I'm just going to mix this in our little mixture here, and it will thicken it right up. And then what I'm going to do is pop these back in the oven. I think I'm going to leave the lid off and let these just cook a little bit longer while we mix up our broccoli casserole, because we need to put it in the oven. So I'll get these out and just let these sit and rest. So I'm just going to kind of try to mix this up here without tearing our steaks up. And so what I do is, whenever I first got these out, what I like to do is just get me a spoon, get me just a little spoonful of that liquid. I put it in a little bowl, let it cool off, and kind of give it a simple little taste test just to see if we need any salt, or, you know, just to check your flavors, maybe some pepper. But y'all, it tasted amazing. These are going to be so good. And like I said, I just tossed this together using stuff that I have. It may not always be the same, but this turned out to be a great little combination. Okay, so there's that. And I think I will do a little bit more black pepper, just because I love black pepper on stuff like this. Mix that in. And then all I'm going to do now, y'all, is I'm going to pop these back in the oven on 300. I'm going to leave it uncovered, and I'm just going to let them hang out. And then I'm going to come back here in just a second, and we're going to get our broccoli casserole put together. Hey, y'all. Okay, everything is finished. Our little steaks are done. I've got our broccoli casserole done, which I featured that on a different video. But let's plate up our little dish here. So I made up some mashed potatoes. I just used my Yukon Gold like I normally do. And we're going to plate some of those up. Like I said, you can do these steaks. They would be so good with some buttered noodles or rice. Anything you want to do. But I wanted some good mashed potatoes. So let's get us out one of these steaks here, y'all. Let's see here. Let me show y'all. Look at this. It's just falling apart. Get you some of that good gravy on there. Just drizzle that over. I tell you what, y'all are going to want to make these. They're so good. Alright, we're going to get us out a little bit of this cheesy broccoli casserole. I already had a little sample of this, if you'll see it on the other video. I had to do a little taste test of it on there, but it is so good. But it was hot. It's cooled off now, so I can kind of, I feel like I can kind of enjoy it a little bit better. But here we are, y'all. Here's our little meal. It was all so easy. Let's do it. Let's do a taste test. Let's see. I don't want nothing dripping down my plate. Let's try this casserole real quick. Like I said, like I mentioned on the other video, this is perfect for the holidays. It's a good little side dish that everybody will love, and it's so easy. That is perfect. If you love broccoli, you'll love it. Let's try a little steak here, y'all. Like I said, it is just fork tender. Look at that. It just pulls apart. Those mashed potatoes. Talk about a comfort food. This is one of them. Oh, it's so good. That little combination that we did, like our flavor, it would be good with so many different meats. I mean, and this is kind of like doing like a chuck roast, basically, but you have your smaller pieces. It's most likely going to be cheaper, and it's a smaller amount. Most time your chuck roast is going to be a lot bigger. These were just small little steaks. Remember, there were 4 of them. Alright, y'all. So good. So let's do a quick little recap of our steaks. We seared them. I seasoned them up. I showed y'all that an earlier part in the video. Seared them up, tossed in some onions, some garlic, some butter, and then I did a can of the French onion soup with a can of water, a little bit of au jus, about half a pack of au jus seasoning mix, and some black pepper. That is it. And they are so good. You can just pull them apart with your fork. As y'all seen, they are fantastic. You could just eat the gravy and the mashed potatoes. They're so good. All right, y'all. I hope y'all try these. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.